Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the main event of the evening.
Good evening, YouTube world. This is the Toon Review with myself and Jade, and this is England versus our old enemies up the road, Scotland, in what could be an absolutely cracking Euro 2020 tie. Good evening, Jade.
Good evening, everyone.
How are you?
Well, good. Hope you're all doing well.
Yes, apart from the heat. But never
yes.
Mind. Sunday. You looking forward to the game?
I can't wait. Yeah, I think this is the one I've been looking forward to. I think we all have. So hope they put a good show on forward.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if any changes are made, which we will come on to. We've had a few comments already coming in. James says England will beat the Jocks quite comfortably tomorrow night, and they will return to bagpipe practice soon afterwards. So pretty confident. And he goes on to say the Scots will walk down Wembley way like they are Braveheart, but will soon wish they stayed at home stuffing their wee faces with haggis and watching Balamori. And also, it's El Tunisco tomorrow, of course. Graham Jones and John Carver, both coaches, of course, for one for England and one for Scotland. I know which one I'd rather have, and it's certainly, it's not Carver, without a shadow of a doubt. Chippers, good evening. He says, Level 7 Dave reckons Shelby should start tomorrow. But on the England squad announcement, he didn't effing realise, he didn't see it and didn't know he wasn't selected. So disappointment for level 7
shame.
Dave, unfortunately. Lee, good evening to you. I'm probably looking forward to this match. If we beat Scotland tomorrow, then it could well be bye-bye, Bonnie Scotland. What a shame not. And he says he's going 4-0 England. It's going to be a very, very tough game. Lee says, what's the difference between Scotland and a tea bag? A tea bag stays in the cup longer.
Going in on it tonight, guys, aren't you? Good.
Yeah, very much so. I think I've just been thinking about this match, Jade, and I just I know England will be up for it. The fans will be up for it. I think Scotland, they need something from this game, and I just think they're going to come out fighting. Now, I've listened to some pundits today talking about Scotland, and even the Scottish pundits themselves have said they're not too sure how many opportunities they're going to get in the game tomorrow. They're not sure, they're going to get little chances here and there, but not enough to really make a massive impact on the game. And for me, if I was a Scotland fan, that would pretty much disappoint me, because I would expect the Scots tomorrow, Jade, to come out with fire in their bellies and absolutely go for it from the off.
Yeah, I would. To be honest, I'm expecting a different Scotland side to what we saw a couple of days ago, because I feel like they're going to be up for this one, aren't they? And then I don't think the manager and the fans will let them not be. Like I say, though, like the pundits have said, the chances are going to come few and far between. If we're looking on paper, we obviously don't know what's going to actually happen in the game. Anything could happen. But if you're looking at it from before the game, yeah, they're going to have a little chance, I would say, with that defence. But the thing is, with Scotland, they haven't got a striker that could take the chances they get, and that's going to be kind of their downfall. I think like obviously Robertson, and if Tierney's playing, they'll be able to get forward, they'll get the ball in the box, but it's what they do with it from there. And I don't think they've got a prolific striker to take the chances, and I think luckily for us, that's probably where we'll be able to kind of come back and counter on that.
Yeah, I think it's said on the news tonight that Tierney's going to be fit, so Scotland may well play a back three.
Yeah.
And use Robertson as a wing back. So it could be a very much different Scotland lineup to what we saw against the Czechs. But from England's point of view, there's this big question: is he going to play Grealish? I don't think he's going to change the lineup at all tomorrow. I've got a sneaky suspicion that he's going to go with the same lineup, which was this one, and I'm not sure. I mean, I think that team would do enough to beat Scotland, but I mean, Maguire's been training all week, but he's obviously not match fit, is he? So
I think he'll have some part in it. I think he said.
Yeah. But would you start him or would you bring him on? Or would you start him and take him off after 70 minutes?
I don't think I'd start him, to be honest. I feel like I don't want to say a free hit, but we're expected to win. I wouldn't be upset with the same team, but I do feel like he should be giving Grealish and someone else a chance.
Yeah.
Trippier, I think, I like him, but that's not his position. So put someone like Chilwell or Shaw at left back in their natural positions, give them a chance to prove themselves, because all of them players, even on the bench, are going to be wanting to get on to prove themselves that they can, when the big games come up, when we get out of the group, that they can perform and they want to be picked. So I think this is a good time in the groups we've been lucky in a way, because the groups isn't that hard. I think Croatia was probably our toughest game, and we won that quite comfortably. So if I was Gareth, I'd be getting a few new players out there to see how they gel. They're going to want to fight and show themselves. So I'd be trying to find my best tier. You should probably know by now, but obviously with a new tournament, new squad, I'd want to be trying to see kind of who works well together, whose best position is what, and give it a bit of a go. But you never know. It's like sounds a similar story of we're one, so we'll keep the same team. So that's what we're used to. So
yeah, for me, I'd take one of the defensive midfielders out, and I've said all along, I think maybe Declan Rice. I mean, Calvin Phillips for me did enough to stay in the team.
Yeah,
and then play Grealish and go attacking, really go for them, because I think if we start and go at Scotland from the off, get an early goal, I think Scotland will capitulate completely. I think they'll just be caught completely. Evening all, have you heard the news about Steve Clarke? Apparently he was caught speeding past Hampden Park this afternoon. The Scots will do anything for 3 points. Oh dear. And what do you call a Scotsman with diarrhea? Brave fart. Oh my God. Jordy, good evening. I'm looking forward to the match tomorrow. Should be a great game, especially since Scotland need 3 points at the moment. Only way a jock seems likely to get 3 points is by being caught speeding. That seems a very popular joke tonight. Lee says a bloody toothpick has more points than Scotland. Yeah, they're getting hammered already, really, aren't they? Good evening, Josh. Hope you're well, matey. James says, I'm expecting the metronomes to appear on screen with that intro music.
Oh, God.
Hey.
Yeah, I know that one. I thought you meant because I saw the picture of the Scots fan holding the gnome. So that's what I thought you meant. That's why I laughed.
Hey, that intro music was quality. I mean, it was from 2010's World Cup campaign, but it still gives you that kind of England beat. I have a few more downloaded, which as further shows go on, and the further England go in this tournament, I put a few more on. But hey, it gets everybody up and get going. But metronomes, I'm not so sure about, James. Hi, Jade, Paul. Hope you're both well. Says Dave. Hope you're well too, Dave. And he goes on to say, never mind the England game. The big news is Annie is a Geordie now. Yes,
bless him.
If anybody hasn't seen our regular little Bristolian Annie comes on, he has been pictured in a Newcastle United shirt, the old Northern Rock one, which I've got as well. And he's an adopted Geordie now, and he really can't get out of that now because he's worn the shirt. And I'm sure when the memberships become available, we'll all chip in. We'll get him a Newcastle membership, so he feels part of the club that I think he truly loves deep down. I think he's definitely got a thing for Newcastle without a shadow of a doubt.
Hopefully next season he doesn't start predicting us to lose all the time. You might get a bit of optimism from him now.
Yeah, but every time he predicted us to lose, we won. So, we can't go back on that.
No. It was a good lucky charm.
Yeah, Josh says, Paul, Jade, have you been making me better? You have been making me better through my health issues and make me very happy. Thank you for that. Oh, that's very nice, Joshua. Thank you very much. Hope you're on the mend. And Geordie says, Southgate has to go with a 4-3-3 formation with Sterling and Sancho on the wings and Foden behind Kane, and I can see us winning quite comfortably. Yeah, I mean, I like Sancho. That. Oh, have you got a rant about him now as well?
No, I don't know. I just feel like, and I just don't know. I feel like there's players should be starting before him at the minute. I feel like I think even though I dislike the man, I think Grealish should and does deserve a chance. It's about something like about his football ability. He's a brilliant footballer, so he should be on the pitch.
And steady on, Jade. Steady on, because we know your feelings on Mr. Grealish, so don't worry about that.
No, but I just feel like he should be starting. I think against Scotland as well, they're going to be. I think if they play like they did against Czech Republic, they were slow, they're sluggish, and Jack Grealish is the perfect man to get at that defence and win the free kicks and kind of get them forward. And I think, to be honest, even if he didn't win free kick, he would easily get past them. I just feel like his footwork and ability is just sometimes out of this world.
Sorry, are you talking about Grealish there?
Yeah, he's a good...
Okay.
I don't like the man himself.
Sorry, I was absolutely stunned there. I was taken aback after your performance.
I know, there you go. Hopefully he's my friend again.
Well, I doubt it, but but he will be wearing the tight shorts and little socks. You do realise that, don't you?
Yeah. I know.
But
it's like this when I see him.
I know. It's not just his footballing ability, though. It's the way he can win free kicks and set pieces. And that's why I was disappointed that he didn't include Ward-Prowse in the squad.
Yeah.
And that was quite a disappointment. But, he can win these, I'm not saying he dives, but he does. But if he's diving for us, I don't give a damn if he wins free kicks for us in dangerous positions or even penalties. But he has got the confidence to unlock a lot of defences, and Scotland's ain't that good. I mean, we're talking about Grant Hanley here. I mean, he's got the turning circle of an oil rig. He just ain't got no pace. We can go at them with pace and absolutely slaughter them.
Just feel like he has to be a bit careful though, because the refereeing in this competition has been spot on for diving in the box and things, and I feel like he might get himself in a bit of trouble if he goes on a bit too easily. But we'll see. Did
you watch the Denmark game? Just gone.
It was.
Did you see that dive?
Yeah, the player was just like, "Oh well, I tried."
Yeah, he knew he'd been found out. That's why he was just lying on his back, thinking, like, "What the fuck have I done here?" I'm going to look
Stephen Taylor, like, "Oh shit, okay, I did it." Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the refereeing has been incredible, and so has VAR. To be fair, VAR haven't got anything wrong.
Right. Yeah, it's used right.
And it's when there was an offside in one of the games yesterday where I think it was Finland's actually, and it was very, 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 very close to being onside, but all it did was draw a line across and a slight little lump in the line where the Finnish player was offside. That was it. No, none of these sort of. All these bloody Chinese writing and stuff.
The grid comes out.
Yeah, it didn't need to be there. It just goes to prove if it's used right, it can be effective. And the speed of the decisions as well. It's not like they've been taken 3-4 minutes to make a decision. It's instant.
But it shouldn't. It's very clear if someone's offside, if you've got a camera view of it, and that's why the Premier League need to be looking at this and thinking, "Oh shit, we've been doing it wrong," because it shows that VAR is actually not the problem, and the problem is the people making the decisions. If
you have to draw 25 lines on the grid, then give the benefit of the doubt to the striker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no reason for it. Geordie says Mings will probably start ahead of Maguire, but Maguire should get about 30 minutes or less from a sub appearance, regardless of who starts. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people would say it the other way around. If he's fit enough to start playing for an hour, 70 minutes, the game's won, then take him off. You know what I mean? But then again, if it gets to 70 minutes and it's still not won, then we face a problem the other way there. So it's a difficult one for Southgate tomorrow. Chipper says apparently level 7. Dave wants Shelby in the midfield. Yes, we've heard. Chippers, you keep on repeating yourself. Dave, that's not true, says Annie. Yes, it is. Chippers, hashtag Jade's rant should be a section on the show. Yeah, I've seen a couple of hashtag Jade rants, and it's catching on as much as Monumental Bellend now.
You got your little catchphrase.
Yeah, and you've got your own little Jade's rant section. So I think Chippers is actually right. I think we should actually put that into a show somewhere along the line and have a little section called Jade's rant, and just maybe halfway through a show and do a nice little jingle for it, and then bring it on, and then whatever's been bothering you this week.
Oh, that would be nice. It's nice to share.
You can let yourself have 5-10 minutes rant on the show. I think that's a good idea. Probably the only idea that Chippers has ever come up with.
A good one anyway.
Paul says Jade will be buying a Jack Grealish shirt at this rate.
Oh, don't be silly, Paul. Don't be silly. Not going that far.
Hey,
not going that far. But yeah. And I'm paying like 80, 90 quid for an England top that can bugger off.
Yeah, I know, it's outrageous. yeah, proper outrageous. Jones 6 says, I'm sorry, I like Newcastle, but I'm Catalan and also like William Wallace. Oh. Joshua says, Sancho shouldn't be on the pitch. Grealish is better. I think this is this is the thing about Grealish, Foden, Sancho. You know, it's who do you play, Jade? It's really a lot of different opinions here.
And it's a nice problem to have. I mean, in the past, England squads were very much you had your best starting 11 and the rest were just kind of bare minimum players that you could sub on if one got tired. So it's a really nice problem to have. I feel like they're all very, very different types of players, though. So I think that's what you've got to be careful at. But they've all got pace, which is great. And if we can just kind of convince Harry Kane to stay in the bloody box, I feel like we'll not struggle for goals this tournament. I think there will be forthcoming because of the quality we have. We just need to kind of click together and get Harry as far up the pitch as possible instead of having him drag down to the left, to the right, stay central, around the box, and then you're going to be fine. They'll find you because they're just quality wingers we've got and they will find him.
Do you think Gareth Southgate has actually got the bottle to say to Jack Grealish, to Kane, look, Harry, stay up front, stay around that 18-yard box. I mean, you mentioned the other day about Bobby Robson saying it to the likes of Shearer and that, face the goal, stop coming so far back to get the ball. You've got players on the pitch now that can provide you with these deliveries that you need into that box. Stop coming back. I'm just wondering if Southgate's actually got the balls to say it to Harry Kane.
I don't know. Obviously, I don't know him personally, but from what I get on interviews and things, he's quite timid, and I feel like he doesn't take control of situations. But again, we really don't know what he's like in the dressing room. But if I was him, that's what I would be saying to Harry. I'd be saying, you've got players around you now who are going to find you. Stay up. I know you like to come back and get the ball, and there's no harm in coming back occasionally to help your midfielders, help your defenders. But we want you to score goals. That is your job. So it's kind of like a thing where Miggy, the guy he does well in defence, but that's not he's there to do. Harry Kane is there to score goals. He's not there to come back to midfield to grab the ball. Their midfielder should be providing him with the ball. And I feel like with Tottenham, we've seen it week in, week out. He drags back so much because there is no one, because he thinks, fucking hell, if I don't go and get it, I'm never getting this ball here. So he tries and start to play. But there's so many good playmakers in the England squad where he doesn't have to do that. And I just wish someone would tell him, if it's Gary, or I hope it's Graham, someone just says, kid, stay in the box. You're 6'4", mate.
It's frustrating though when England break out and then you look where Harry Kane is and he's stuck on the halfway line. And because one thing Harry Kane hasn't got is pace. He relies on his I don't know, his spider sense up front, really, where you play as a striker and you just seem to know where the ball is going to end up. And I think that's Harry Kane's game. But, it's very frustrating because it'll be frustrating for the England guys when they're bursting down the wing and they're looking up and there's no fecker there. So I think he's got to try and change it a little bit. Paul says the Jocks are the international equivalent of Sunderland. Joshua says, do you think John Joe Shelvey should play for England? Are you having a laugh, Josh? Seriously?
No, don't start, Josh.
Seriously.
Don't upset him.
No, I think, Josh, if you haven't seen earlier shows of fan forums, I suggest you go back and watch them, on this channel, because I'm not a fan of Shelvey, and those shows will confirm that. So I think you should go and maybe just have a watch of them before you mention John Joe Shelvey for England, because that is...
that ship sailed a long time ago.
That ship sailed and sank with the feckin' Titanic, to be fair. Geordie says Tom Daly would be proud of Jack Grealish, the way he dives around the pitch. He mentions Callum Wilson, Josh, there. So, yes, Callum Wilson, I think, has a shout if he continues next season in the same form he was in this. I don't think there's any question about that.
That thigh injury, he keeps that down, I think. I think he'll bang in a good few goals for him.
It's a
hopefully
big season
for us.
It's a big season for him next year because he's got to stay fit. But I think if he does, he has a legitimate shout for an England squad call-up. And if he doesn't, it'll just confirm to me that Southgate has a serious northeast bias as to picking England players. But we'll see what happens. Chipper says, bloody heck, Paul, are you agreeing with me? There is a God. I am actually, Chippers, and it's the one and only time that I probably will in my lifetime.
Look at me bringing us together.
Yes, Jade. Geordie says, I just think Sancho would be able to keep up with Sterling, but I do rate Grealish, so wouldn't be bothered who starts out of the two. I mean, what is it with Sancho that you're not sure about?
I don't know. To be honest, honestly, it's because I don't think I've seen him play that much. If I'm honest, like I don't know what he's about. I've seen him a couple of times, and he hasn't really blown us away. But I've heard good things about him. But I think that's the only reason. I think I'm not like I wouldn't be upset if he was playing. I just feel like he's quite young still. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen him play that much. So I think my gut always goes to the Premier League players that I see week in, week out. But he could come on and surprise. But I don't know. I think anyone on that bench, to be honest, like, there's no one that I would be disappointed to see play. Obviously, we discussed Tyrone Mings, but he did all right, to be honest. But it seems our curse every time we say like, "Oh, he's going to be shite."
I think to be fair, he's faced harder opposition already in Croatia than what he would do with that Scotland striker with a funny hair colour. But having said that, I think that's him. I think Che Adams will play tomorrow.
I do. I think he'll start him.
But whether he'll go 2 up front, which is a possibility as well, if he feels he wants to go at England. But, John Carver being the best coach ever to grace the Premier League, I don't know what he'll be saying to Steve Clarke, so it'd be interesting to see how they line up. But I do think Che Adams will be in the starting lineup. Now, whether that is for Dykes or whether they go 2 up top, it'll be very interesting to see. But I think England, pace-wise, when you look at, Tierney's got pace, but how fit is he? Run at him and test his injuries. We know Robertson's got pace, but Grant Hanley, come on, he wasn't exactly fast when he played for us, was he?
No, he's a solid defender, but you can beat him. Like imagine them, like if you had like Foden, Mount, Sterling, and Grealish all running at him, he'd shit himself. So that if I was that's what I'd be doing, I'd be running at the defence as much as possible. I just
hope he doesn't start Rashford, because for me, Rashford, he's not on form at the minute, and Foden, Grealish, and to a degree Sterling after his performance on Sunday are all ahead of him as far as I'm concerned.
I would agree with that.
We know that Southgate loves him as well, so.
It's all right to have your favourites and stuff, but you got to look at like form as well. Like you want to keep that going. Like I wouldn't take Sterling out of the squad because he's on a run. Him and Phillips, probably the best 2 players for England. And I feel like if they're on a good run, let their confidence keep going. Because if he's going to sit on the bench, he'd be like, well, what the hell have I got to do to start? Like I've scored for you. And I still like Sterling. I think. He'll do a good job for us.
Hey, look, he's a decent player. He's just lost a bit of form. Everybody. The thing is about Raheem Sterling is everybody was, loved the lad when he was scoring goals for Man City, and just having a bit of blistering form. And the second he drops his form, the media are on him in a second. He's not good enough for Man City. He's not good enough for this or that. Give the lad a chance. He played really well on Sunday.
He did.
And I'd love to see him get a couple more against the Jocks. Oh dear, what have I done? Says Annie. You have done a big mistake, mate. You've put yourself on Twitter in a Newcastle United shirt. God knows what your Bristol City friends think of you, Annie. I would think pure disgust. But hey ho. Geordie says Annie is a Geordie. La 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 la.
He's gonna get it now.
He is. Dave says Annie, you are Toon Padawan now. See the light you have. One of us you are. Is that in a Yoda voice? It must be.
Yeah.
See the light you have. One of us you are.
Don't get us started again.
No, it's not. Kane is a striker, not a defender or midfielder, so Kane should be hanging around the goalpost instead of running around the pitch, and that the midfielders do the job by creating assists. When you've got 2 holding midfielders and then you've got a 3 in front of that, you just don't need to come back.
No, you've got obviously your defenders and you've got 2 holding. So I don't know what he thinks he's going to achieve by going back. I think he's not going to get the ball off them really, because if we know of Harry Kane, he's not like the most technically gifted with passing either. So what's he going to do? What is he going to achieve by being so far back? That he's a goal poacher. You need to be around the box. Yes, he can really hit a ball from 10 yards out. Yeah, we know he can, but he needs to be around the box to get the ball. Then, like when I was watching them against Croatia, he was like on the left half the time with like the likes of Trippier going down the wing, and I was like, why are you there? You should be in the box waiting for that cross to come in. You know it's going to come in. And it's bizarre, but I hope someone just tells him to stay around the box. Do not come back, like screaming it from Wembley stands, just saying, don't go back. Stay where you are, friend.
It all boils down to Gareth Southgate, doesn't it? And
Yeah,
he's
of
got
course it is.
the balls to tell him to stay stay forward. Billy, who I'm pretty sure is looking forward to
I'm sure he
tomorrow. One of the reasons England did so poor at the last Euros was that Kane wanted to take all of the free kicks, corners, and everything. If he doesn't stick to playing centre forward, I'd take him off. I agree with that, and that last Euros when he was taking the corners and stuff, I thought, what the hell is going on here? I don't know what came into Roy Hodgson's mind to allow Harry Kane to take corners and stuff. He's just not a set piece taker. He should be on the end of the set pieces, putting the ball in the net.
Is it the fact that he was one of the tallest players we had then as well? And I'm like, you've got him taking a corner. Like,
yeah, it was ridiculous.
But at least he's not doing that this time, which is good.
Yeah, exactly. Josh says he was just joking, I presume, about John Joe Shelby, so we'll let you off.
We know. No one said that seriously apart from Level 7 David.
That's very true. Tyrone Ming should be called Tyrone Mingin for his performances. He did all right against Croatia. We can't say anything else. I mean, he wasn't outstanding, and he wasn't poor either. So
you can ask for, if you don't hear his name very often, he must be doing all right.
yeah. Geordie says, I'm expecting more of a Premier League standard of match than an international match tomorrow. Look, it's going to be full-blooded. We know it is. I mean, Scotland are going to be flying into the tackles. They're going to be well up for the game, which is why I think the first 10, 15 minutes, Jade, is going to be important for England to try and stamp their authority on the game, a bit like they did against Croatia. Obviously, it's not going to be as hot. It could be actually raining, absolutely pouring rain tomorrow night, but I think that would suit England as well, just to get stuck into the Scots as well. And it's going to be one of them bloodthirsty games, but if we can quell them in the first sort of 15, 20 minutes, I think, the game will just breeze for us after that, as long as we can score. But I think we need to keep them at bay for the first 15, 20 minutes and take that motivation out of them.
Yeah, I think it's kind of one of them things you're going to have to show them who's boss, because they're going to obviously be up for it and come at us. I don't expect them not to be coming at us, but we need to stamp our authority, like you say, and just say like, well, you can come at them all you want, but you're not getting anywhere. And we need to be getting at them just as much. I feel like the first 20 minutes against Croatia was fantastic. And I thought we were going to fly, but obviously I'm sure the heat did have something to do with the kind of the backing off. And what did upset me against Croatia is that we were 1-0 up and they were all backing off. Again, I don't know if that is because of the heat and they were knackered. I know it literally was carbon copy of what I see every week in the past few months. But no, I think that probably the heat would have a massive part in that. They did look knackered, and I don't blame them. It was like 30 degrees in London, like that, so it was mad. But I think this time we just need to get at them quickly. I think an early goal, and then I think the floodgates will open, because I think they don't have the bottle to try and come back, and they're not going to score more than 2 against. Where I hope not anyway. But
oh God! You do realise, Jade, this stays on YouTube.
You have to delete the video.
It's not just a live show that disappears; it stays on.
Well, I wouldn't expect them to score more than 2 against us. So I think if we score early, I think we'll have a very good chance of taking them apart.
Yeah, well, even the Scottish pundits are saying all they're going to get is a few half chances here and there, so they're not exactly confident, to be honest. And I don't know where Andrew is tonight. I thought he might have been coming on here full of beans, but he seems to be very quiet tonight. Paul says, is there an English player in the squad who you are excited by? For me, it's Foden and Bellingham. Look, Bellingham's been fantastic. He's been fantastic for Dortmund this season at such a young age. He's fantastic. Now, I did say when we did the squad announcement show that maybe I thought it was too early for him. Having said that,
he's got a proper head on his shoulders, hasn't he?
Yeah, but when's too early? You know what I mean? If you're good enough, then put you in. But for me, Foden definitely, Bellingham definitely, Grealish, and obviously Calvin Phillips, the way he played. I'm very excited to see how he'll develop as well. And that's it, really. I mean, Harry Kane is Harry Kane. Sterling is Sterling. You know what I mean? We know what they can do. It's about now some of the youngsters coming in and showing what they can do. Geordie says, Robertson and Tierney are the 2 players which are carrying Scotland in a similar way in which Bale does with Wales. I mean, Jade, I have an apology to make to Gareth Bale, because the last show we did, I went at him saying I think he's disinterested completely in football, and he was just anonymous in the first game, and he was absolutely fantastic last night for Wales. I mean, some of those passes that he was putting in for Ramsey, I mean, not just the goal, but the couple before that Ramsey shockingly missed.
Yeah.
I mean, the penalty was awful, god awful from Bale. I have no idea what he was doing.
I got blocked on Twitter for that. I've just came back from a ban.
Why?
Because I said Jesus, Gareth, and someone reported us, and I got blocked for 12 hours.
Wow.
And I wasn't quite sure. I tried to appeal, going what did I do wrong? I'm sorry if I offended someone by saying Jesus. Maybe that was it. And I was like,
Maybe.
But
I was like, a lot worse than that on Twitter.
I know. I was like, if you look from your other tweets, I'm like, F this, you effing idiot.
I
know. So I was like,
hashtag Jade's rant.
Yeah. So I was really quite shocked. So I blamed Gareth Bale. Wow. That's probably him going through tweets of himself, going nope, nope.
But then I mean, after that, he then takes a corner, and we all think he's going to stay in the corner. This is the first one. And then he decides to just skip past the defender as if he's not there. And then obviously they get another corner, and he does the same thing on the other side, except he goes past 2 men this time and then squares it back, and Wales score another goal. I just think, I take it back a little bit, because I think it was a lot cooler temperatures last night for them to play in rather than what it was, when they played during the day over there. So I'm pleased for Wales. I really am. But when we did our prediction show, Jade,
doesn't it?
It does. But when we did our prediction show, a lot of people were hammering me for not saying Turkey as their underdogs, and I'm really pleased, because they are gash. I mean,
didn't know where
they
that
are
came from,
awful.
if I'm honest.
You what?
I didn't know where that came from. Turkey being the underdog. So I was just I've never really been that impressed by them, but yeah, they've been awful.
Oh my God. I mean, I don't know who that guy is up front they've got for them. I think he needs one more to become the equal leading scorer for Turkey. I don't know how he's even scored. I mean, that one, he missed from 3 yards out. The guy's 9 foot tall, and he volleys the ball over the bar. What's that about?
Yeah, they've been awful. So,
oh God. Dreadful.
A lot of people are regretting a bet on that, I think.
Yeah. But well done to Wales, honestly, really, really well done, and well done to Bale, because he basically told me to stuff my opinions where the sun don't shine last night.
I don't need no golf.
Yeah, I don't need no golf. I don't need no plane. I just need a football. God damn it, that's not even Welsh, is it? Anyway, Chipper says Rashford for me is a myth. He literally has no set piece in the team at all, as no one knows his favourite position. I agree. This has been the case since Rashford started his career. Nobody knows where he should play. Is he better on the right, left, through the middle? But I just think I've watched him for Man United quite a lot this season, and he just gives the ball away a lot. He tries to do too much for a start, gives the ball away, and I don't see what this fascination is with Rashford.
He's been in one of them kind of mythical players, isn't he? Because he thinks you expect him to do well and be good, because he's had moments where he's shown that he is phenomenal, very much like Miggy. I feel like he does try to do too much, and he won't. He shoots when he should pass. He passes when he should shoot. No one seems to know where he should be playing. I know I think the Southgate favours him on the left. But is that his best position? Should he be on the right? Should he be in the middle? And I don't think even he knows. I think when I saw him on Sunday, he looks a bit lost to me on the pitch. He's kind of just doesn't actually know what he's supposed to be doing or where he should be playing. Looks like a lost sheep. Yeah, he's just oh, cool. I play for England. So
one of them where you have a drive up to the Pennines and you go across them hills where there's no fences in the fields, and suddenly you come over the brow of the hill and you see a sheep just walking along going, got a problem there? That is just coming straight towards the car and not giving a damn. Get out my way, car. I'm coming through. This is my domain.
And what?
Yeah. And you just think, what the hell? And it's how did we talk about that, by the way?
I don't know. We do this all the time.
Yeah, I know. But it's basically he's not ahead of Sterling or Foden or Grealish for me at the minute. So but he brought him.
But Gareth.
He's Gareth's love child. Jordy says thoughts about Aaron Ramsdale being called up since Dean Henderson was pulled out due to injured. I think Ramsdale is a liability.
I like him.
I think he's a decent keeper as well, and he proved that when he came to St James's against us for Sheffield United back into the season. I think he was fantastic. I did think he had a rocky start for Sheffield United, without a shadow of a doubt. But let's face it, look at what he had in front of him. Look how bad Sheffield United were last season. He'd just gone there from Bournemouth. Very, very difficult circumstances to start off with because, Sheffield United were rank. I mean, it took them so long to get even a point, didn't it? So they were ranked bad.
Yeah.
So I'm not putting it all down to him. I don't really think he's a liability, Geordie. I think maybe earlier in the season he probably was, but he did come good for them, and I think he deserves his spot.
What you've got to think is how often will he play? Do you know what I mean? He's kind of just there. I think he's there as a backup. If I'm honest,
third keeper. He's definitely
he's not gonna, unless something seriously happens to kind of Pickford.
Yeah, we're going on with American commentator now. Yeah, they go for England #1, Jordan Pickford. Yeah.
But yeah, you know what I mean. If something happens to the other two, I'll say the other two, then he'll play, but I doubt he'll get a game.
No, I think Pickford will play all the games. I don't think he'll drop Pickford for any of the games.
No, I don't think he will.
And I don't think he should. I think if you're #1 keeper in a tournament, you stay and you play all the games. Unless it's like the third place playoff where nobody really gives a shit who finishes third. You know what I mean? Billy says, Raheem, the dream doesn't do particularly well against Robertson, I have to say. But with Foden, Mount and possibly Grealish supporting him, I can't see anything but a convincing win for England. Yeah, Billy, you wouldn't... you don't really surprise us in saying that, to be honest. I think over the last few shows, you've well and truly made it perfectly clear that you don't like Scotland. I think you're right about Raheem and Robertson, but do they not have a bit of history? Or was it Alexander-Arnold he had the clash with? Either way, I think that'll be Sterling will be on the left, though, so he won't be in Robertson's range. Unless they move Sterling to the right. But we'll see.
That could happen.
Well, anything could happen tomorrow, to be fair. Chipper says, if Rashford is a left wing, why does he play as a C? What's a CW?
Centre winger.
Right winger in the number 10. What's a CW, Chippers? Because I've never heard that as a football position.
Centre wing back.
Centre winger. How can you be a centre winger, Chippers? Wingers... It's in the name. Wingers are wide. Wing. No, you don't get a centre wing. Where have you seen the centre wing on an airplane? Dear God. Geordie says, agree, Chippers. I think Rashford is very overrated. And if he didn't play for Man United, I don't think Southgate would pick him. I have to agree with that, to be honest. I think it's just because he's a Man United player.
He's Manchester players, doesn't he?
Yeah. Tony says, congrats, Paul. Newcastle are no longer the worst run club in the Premier League. Spurs have overtaken you. Oh, God. Yeah, they're not having a great time. Tony says, because he has Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a manager, he's a left winger, the cuts inside. He's been in poor form, though. I wouldn't start him either, personally. Listen, I mean, with Rashford, I have nothing against Marcus Rashford, and there has been rumours that he's carrying a couple of injuries that need surgery, but he's put them off.
Well, what's the point? Then don't take him. Like that could literally end a young man's career if.
Hang on 2 seconds, Jade. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, Jade's rant. Here we go.
Hi guys, thank you.
Take it away, Jade.
My part of the channel.
Yes.
But no, like if he's injured, don't take him. I feel like, he's a young guy. He's got his career ahead of him. He could do some serious damage. If it's that bad that he needs surgery, why are you picking him? Don't put it off so you can have a tournament. Like there'll be many more tournaments you can still be a part of. Like, and then take someone fully fit instead, because we're going to need strength when it comes to kind of like, there's a lot of games in a lot of short space of time in the groups. And I just feel like it's stupid. Like he's, I just don't understand it. It's just what it is, isn't it? Like if he needs his surgery, he's got a knock.
For me, he's young enough. He's young enough to get the operations done and move on, and look forward to the future. I think you're right. He's risking his future by not getting the operations when he needs them, which is going to make life more difficult for him when he does get the surgeries. Yeah. You put things off like that. It doesn't work that way, or I'll just put it off and I'll just play through the tournament. You make things worse. And if you make things worse, that's a longer healing period. Yeah. And, I just think if that's true about him needing surgery, I think he's wrong. And the England coaching system is wrong for letting him play, as are Manchester United.
The people around him should be telling him that. Like, I know he's a young kid, he'll want to prove himself. It's like, oh, no, I'm fine. Because any professional footballer is going to be like, no, I'm fine. I want to play at a major tournament. But you've got to have people around you to be like no, Marcus, like, you need to go and get surgery, and then someone else fully fit can come in, and then maybe next tournament it's his tournament. Do you know what I mean? It's just it seems silly to risk a player's career just so he can play in a tournament when he's
100%.
Just feel bad for him if that's true, because that's not nice.
Yeah. Billy says Scotland won't want a football match. They will want a war. Despite wanting us to give them a good hiding, we are going to need to want it as much as them. I probably would go with Rice and Phillips. Yeah, I mean, it's open to debate. You know, who do you actually go with? For me, I'd like to see us go a bit more attacking, but I do agree that obviously Scotland will want a war, so they'll come out a lot stronger than what they did against the Czechs. I've got no doubt about that. You know, they will be going into the tackles. They will want to make the England players know that they're around, and England won't be able to get away with it. You know, they'll have to man up as well and put the tackles in and say to Scotland, right, you coming at us like that, we'll just do the same to you. And that's what we want to see as England fans. We want to see the English players match the Scottish players for motivation and hunger, rather than just sort of back out of the tackles and just try and wear the Scots down. Just go at them.
One of them things where it's going to be like, I just want to score more goals than you. Like, I don't mind how you score, we're going to score more. And that's what I want to see, and I want to see them get at them. And because I feel like it's just nice viewing too. Do you know what I mean? Like, give us something to be happy about. And I feel like if it's set up right, it could be quite a dramatic game, I would say, scoreline wise.
I'm looking forward to it. Judy, good evening. I'm saying nothing.
Judy.
I'm a complete jinx. If I say England will win, Scotland would beat us 6-0. Leave the UK on a referendum, invade over Hadrian's Wall, and the time will run red with iron brew. Listen, Judy, I don't think it's going to be as bad as that, honey. I think, if we're honest, I couldn't see Scotland putting 6 past us in 10 games against them, to be honest. You know, I just cannot see that. But I think Scotland, like I say, when they come out for the first half, will be bang up for it. And if we can just destroy them in the first 15 minutes by going at them, getting a couple of goals and just booting all the confidence they had right out of the system, I think they're screwed. And that's what I want to see us do. I don't want to see us sitting back, you know, like Bruce Ball, for instance, letting Scotland have the ball. I mean, how embarrassing would that be? Oh, let Scotland have the ball and we'll catch them on the break. Because if Steve Bruce was England manager, that's exactly the tactics he would deploy. And like, that's really bad.
My Bruce master plan.
Jedi I am. Anyway, Joshua says Scotland are not the best, but they've only got 3 good players, Robbo, Tierney and Char. I take it he means Che Adams. Yes, he does. Adams. There you go. Yeah. Tony says, did that Andrew from the other day come back after Scotland getting beat? He did. He was on the show he was on the Fan Forum show making the comments. But I haven't seen him tonight at all. So I hope he's all right. I know he's had a bit of bad health. So Andrew, if you're watching, do wish you well and getting healthy again. He's had COVID, so he has been pretty poorly. So I hope he's okay. And if you're watching, Andrew, send our best wishes to your pal. Not for tomorrow night, but with your health. Yes. Billy says Twitter has a thing about blasphemy, Jade. I got a 24-hour ban for quoting Ted Hastings, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph and the wee donkey.
That must have been it then. That's just weird. I didn't mean it in a religious way. Just Jesus. I didn't even spell Jesus as Jesus, but I went Jesus, like Jesus.
No, to be fair, Jade, I've put Jesus Christ loads of times.
Yeah. Oh, so obviously, I offended someone. So whoever that is, I'm sorry, but
yeah,
it was
you know, it just
unfollow if that's the case.
Maybe it was Grealish, Jade.
It was, wasn't it? He's like,
maybe he's watched this show. Yeah, and saw how utterly awful you were to him the other day, and he thought, right, I'm going to keep an eye on this lass's Twitter page.
Any bad language report,
and then he's just gone for it straight away, and you've had the ban, Jade. That's exactly what it is.
I think that's the only plausible explanation, if I'm honest.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Or maybe you'll stop doing that now. I've given him a little bit of a compliment today. So.
Well, you can only hope. Tom, good evening. Good evening, Paul and Jade. Billy says Rashford is awaiting 2 operations after the tournament. He clearly isn't fit. Should probably not be in the squad. Well, this is the point. I mean, this is the point we keep making every single tournament that England go to. They always take injured players who should not be there and ruins the opportunity for somebody else who should be in the side. And it's the same with England tomorrow. Well, I mean, look at Maguire. We don't know if he's going to start. We don't know if he's going to be on the subs bench and come on. You know, but Henderson, you know, clearly isn't fit. Rashford, as Billy says, needs operations, shouldn't be there. And yet the likes of Ward-Prowse et al. Are sitting at home thinking, friggin' hell, you know, we've got all these crops in the England squad and we sitting at home when we should be there. It's so deflating for them. Tony says, he's been really poor for Man United recently. He just markets himself well, can be a good player, but very inconsistent. I mean, I've heard people say that he should stick to go to Parliament rather than be on a football pitch.
Yeah.
I just he doesn't do anything for me. I don't get excited when he gets the ball.
No, I think like he's one of like a very uninspiring player. I mean, I think all the kind of credit to him for what he does off the pitch. I think he's amazing for what he does. But when he's on the pitch for what he's paid to do, I don't get excited. Like when I see Foden get the ball, or I see Mount, or even Sterling to some degree. I know they're going to run at players, they're going to take them on. I don't really know what Rashford does. That's my problem. So like if he's wide, like he gets the ball and I don't really know what he's going to do with it. And most of the time I feel like he's going to lose it. So I'm like, oh God, here we go.
Well, most of the time he does lose it, Jade, to be fair.
If you're going to play Rashford, I think he needs to be a centre striker, because I feel like that's, in my opinion, that's his best position. But I don't know. I just don't think he should be. I don't think it works well in this England squad. I don't see where like he fits. Yeah. I just think there's better players in him in all the positions that he can play.
Yeah. James says, do you think the part Rashford had in the kids getting free meals played a factor in Southgate picking them for the Euros? Look, I think I was just going to say, Jade, I think, all the stuff that's gone on with him and all the stuff he's done, like you say, off the field, has that taken over what he's actually doing on the field? You see what I mean? I just don't know if his concentration's being taken away from the football field, if he's got... Because obviously what he's doing at the minute, he must come off that football field and have emails, text messages and all sorts of stuff to go through and sort out with regards to what he's doing off the field. And I think that might just take away his concentration for what he's doing on the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're all kind of praising him for what he's doing. He has made a big difference, and there's no reason, and he should, because footballers are held in high regard and people listen to them. They've got a lot of like young fans that kind of will support him. But I do feel like that, because I feel like if we're going on form, like what has Rashford done on the pitch that's made Gareth think, oh, I'm going to take him to the Euros because he's class? Because I wouldn't be thinking. I'd be like, yeah, Gareth, Marcus, well done. You're a great kind of advocate for feeding children, which is nice. Yeah. But this is a football tournament, and I need players that I can rely on and that are going to play well. And to me, that's just not him at the moment.
It's also Manchester United.
Yeah.
So, thou shalt pick Man United players or the world will end.
You've got to pick at least two.
Yeah. Geordie says 2-0 England tomorrow. Tony, Joe Gomez it was who had the run-in with Sterling. He thinks he means striker centre forward, and Chippers just confirms that. But Chippers, make sure you press the buttons right, mate. Is a CW one of those Stevie Bruce positions? Yes, that's exactly what it is.
False tens and stuff.
Thomas says, Paul, I was shopping in Iceland today. It's a long way to go for your shopping, Thomas, mate, but thanks for telling us.
That'll be your Kerry Katona thing of last time, isn't it?
oh, God, I forgot about that. Sausage rolls a pound. Oh, dear. Hey up, everybody. You get a free box of custard slices, with the sausage rolls. Or for £1.
Sounds like me grandma.
Oh, God. Judy says, snap, it's where Joe Linton will be next season. Iceland? I don't know. Penalty for the Netherlands, apparently. I think they'll stroll through tonight. Judy says Stoke City did that once. I think they had 6 Icelandic internationals at one point. There was a point where Stoke went all Icelandic.
Like when
Junior says hello.
Went all Portuguese, didn't they?
Yeah. Junior says hello. I think Junior's in America, so good evening, good afternoon, as it would be over there. Depay has scored. And Tony says, we're walking in Memphis. There you go. That's a quality song, by the way.
Great song.
Ryan, the Chelsea fan. Oh, Hakimi. Chelsea done deal 60 million. Now Haaland, our football director, Marina is the best. Yeah, stick it up your ass, Ryan, to be honest. I'm sick of hearing about how all these magnificent, all these millions of pounds that Chelsea is spending. And it's bullshit to us Newcastle fans. We can only dream of that. We spent £60 million on, actually, we did spend 40 million on Joe Linton.
Look at me! I won the Champions League.
Yes. We are just pulling your leg, Ryan. Don't worry. Netherlands have scored. We know. Geordie, this is his team: Pickford, Walker, Stones, Mings, Trippier, Rice, Phillips, Grealish, Sterling, and Kane in a 4-3-3. So who's he left out? Foden.
That's just silly.
See, I mean, I really would leave Rice out tomorrow and put Grealish in and just go a bit more attacking. But I can understand him keeping the same team to a degree. But I don't think he'll start Grealish ahead of Foden. I just don't. Which would be a shame because I think I would love to see Grealish and Foden play together.
There's only 10 players there.
What?
There's no Mount.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, Geordie, you're having a stinker, son. You've picked a 10 instead of 11.
So I was like, so you'd leave Foden out but not Mount. And I was like, but Mount's not there.
Mason
either,
Mount's got to play. You know, he's one of my favourite players, Mason Mount. So, Geordie, you've had a stinker there, mate. An absolute stinker. Hang your head in shame. Billy says, remember the World Cup semi when Raheem was running Croatia ragged? It all went pear-shaped when Southgate took Sterling off for Rashford, who looked like he was running in treacle when he came on. Yes, I do. And I do think had Harry Kane been not so feckin' greedy, we would have won that World Cup semi-final. But because it was Harry Kane, nobody made a big kick-off about it. You know, if that was David Beckham, you know, he would have been on bonfires the lot again. And you just know it. But because it was the god that is Harry Kane, oh, don't worry, he'll get another chance to score. That would have won us. We would have been through. We would have beaten them. Had Kane just simple little 3-yard pass to Raheem Sterling, and we would have won the World Cup. I'm convinced.
It's still baffling to me. Even to this day, I'll see like replays of it, and I'm like,
it beggars belief. And the fact that he didn't get hammered for it is even worse.
Well,
and like you said, he took Raheem off and brought Rashford on. That was it. Game over. Geordie says, where's Scotland firepower coming from tomorrow night? Or probably Che Adams, which wouldn't fill me with much hope if I was Scottish. Listen, let's not hammer Che Adams because he's had a fantastic end of the season, remember, with Southampton, and start to score some goals. So I'm not saying anything for Che Adams.
I'd take him in the Newcastle squad.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. But I'd be more happy if he was still on the bench tomorrow and that Silverhead Dykes was up front. I nearly called him a Silverhead Dyke there, didn't I? I didn't mean to. Silverhead Dykes. I mean, it's a ridiculous hair colour, as we know. And I don't know what he offers the Scotland side, to be honest. I mean, he's gone from
looked lost, and his limbs were flinging around everywhere. It was it was baffling to watch.
It's just crazy. Harry Jane needs to start scoring goals, says Tom. Well,
ooh, who's she?
I think he means Harry Kane, but I think he's just had another spelling mistake there. Judy says, a slight side tangent, but your quick thoughts, Wilder versus Fury 3. Anyone hyped? I think Fury will win that fight. There you go, Judy. Billy says, I'd love to see the ref give us protection from McTominay, who seems to have a free pass assaulting players week in, week out. Okay. I think it will be stamped on if he tries to do anything because, like we said earlier in the show, Billy, I think the refereeing has been absolutely fantastic in this tournament, and the Premier League, you know, really need to take a look at how well this tournament has been refereed and officiated, both on the pitch and in the VAR room. It's been a breath of fresh air, and it just proves the VAR can work if it's done right. And the referees, they just take no shit. You know, they make a decision and they get on with it. But what I like to see is when the VAR decisions have been made, all the teams have just got on with it, haven't they? You know, they accept, they seem to, you know, accept that the VAR has been done and accept the decision. All right, if it's gone to a camera and they've looked at it, that must be offside, so we'll play on. They just get on with it, and it's just totally different.
What I'd like to see as well, like, and when players are surrounding the referee, they're getting a yellow card if they're going too far. And I feel like that gives referee a bit more respect and authority as well, because I feel like they are taking I think they do get a lot of grief. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes rightly so, but there's no need to get in someone's face and things like that. So I feel like that is a great rule to have, that you get a yellow card if you're around the referee for too long. And like you said, the way VAR has been used in this tournament has just been a breath of fresh air from what we've seen in the Premier League. So I hope they are taking notes, but knowing them, I doubt it.
Well, yeah, there won't be. You just know that.
Like, no, we do it better.
Geordie says Maguire, Henderson and Rashford should not be in the England squad when they are injured, when we could have had James Ward-Prowse, who's been in great form. Totally agree, Geordie. You still had a stinker on your team selection, though. Tom says Harry Kane needs to start scoring goals for England. He's hardly done nothing yet. I mean, it's only been one game, Tom. Let's not be too hard. I mean, let's not write him off. Harry Kane is a serial slow starter. We know he is. Whether that be for the league campaign or in tournaments. And I just, let's see how he does tomorrow night. And then if he has another stinker tomorrow night, then questions might start to be asked. But hopefully we'll see a different Harry Kane tomorrow. Totally agree on Rashford, says Thomas. Judy says the comment on Rashford is interesting. Was he having a slump when he first did the food drive? Colin Kaepernick was and still is awful and didn't start doing the knee until his career was tanking. Who's Colin Kaepernick? Whatever. Mason Mount to start tomorrow and spin Scotland players. Yes, Ryan, he has to play. I'd be very disappointed if Mason Mount is not in the team. Tony says, hope Kerry and Biggins helped you pack your bags, Thomas. Biggins. Oh, don't get me started on Biggins. Dear God. Chipper says that Kerry Katona voice is almost as harrowing as seeing Steve Bruce in the dark. Cheers, Chippers. Geordie says, I've gone with 10 players, lol. I was meant to include Foden. Right, okay.
Okay.
We'll
That's still a mistake.
Yeah, you had a nightmare, mate. Foden to score and do a Gazza on the pitch with a water ball. Oh, God.
Stop it. Just stop it.
No,
right?
I don't want him to do that. He needs to do his
Phil
own
Foden
celebration.
should do a Phil Foden celebration, right?
Yes.
So
and get a decent haircut for a start.
Yeah.
Geordie's got me thinking now, could the old rivalry of Scotland versus England be a more physical game? And should we maybe pick an element of physicality?
Well, I mean, elbowing, nutting, kicking.
Well, I mean, Scotland tend to do that.
Well, I feel like we have got quite a bulky squad, so I think it will take a lot of them to kind of. I think there's, apart from Grealish, of course, none of them really go down easily, and if they do, they get back up again. So I think it might take a lot, especially I think our defense. I think not one of them is under 6 foot, so I feel like it'll take quite a lot of them to get kind of the physicality in the box and stuff. I think we'll win hands down.
Yeah. Fair enough. I think it brings Shaw in for Trippier. Yeah, I think he should do either Chilwell or Shaw should come in oh, hello. Yeah. Another cat appearing. Very camera hungry your cats are. Geordie says if Foden scores, he better do the dentist chair. I hope not. I want him to do his own celebration. Ryan says Paul Kane wants another golden boot. He does. So I think, let's not just judge him on one game. Chongled says England 3, Scotland 1. Now, Chongled. Jade. Chongled's going to get a surprise here because I found out who was behind the Lee Charnley account.
No, did you?
And it was that gentleman who is on the screen now.
Jungle.
And he can't get out of it because I've had him hook, line, and sinker with a bit of help from some other people.
But, oh my God, that is like full-on detective AC-12
yes,
shit, that in
yes.
it.
I have my eyes and ears everywhere, Chongled. And I've seen the comment on the live show when you were acting as Lee Charnley, but then on the other side in the comments, the same comment came up under your name. And I know how you've done it now. So it was very clever, Chongled, and hats off to you. But you've been busted, sunshine. Busted like a help me out, Jade.
Water balloon.
That's right. Busted like a water balloon.
I don't know if that makes sense. It was the first time came in my head.
Yeah, you could have come up with a lot better there, Jade, to be fair, but never mind.
Busted like a dirty copper.
Ooh, dirty copper. Right, okay.
Yeah, I was talking about AC-12 and you talked about Ted Hastings, so...
Jesus, Mary and Joseph and the wee donkey. Rumours are that Oxlade-Chamberlain could join. Yes, I'd love to see him come to Newcastle, and I think it wouldn't be too far for his
pregnant.
His missus would like to come up here and give birth in South Shields Hospital. I'm sure that's not going to happen. James has gone Pickford, Walker, Stones, Maguire, Chilwell, Phillips, Rice, Foden, Sterling, Grealish, and Kane. So he has took out obviously Trippier at left back. Mason Mount. No!
Mount for Grealish. No, don't.
No. Tom says, who do you fancy to win the Euros? I fancy Italy. Yeah, they're looking good. But again, let's wait and judge them when they come up against a really one of the big teams.
It's really hard to tell at the minute because I feel like I thought Belgium. I was like, when I watched the first half this afternoon, I was like, who the fuck are these?
Yeah,
I was like, they were shocking.
Kevin De Bruyne and changed the game.
I was like, here we go. And I was like, oh Jesus, that both goals were sensational.
Unbelievable.
So
the control that De Bruyne had on that football for their second goal was just incredible.
It's like a PlayStation game, this. And I was like, oh, well done, commentators. You're shite on ITV.
Okay. Well, I thought Ali McCoist is one of the better ones.
I do like Ali McCoist, but I don't. It's just his voice.
And it was nice to see him reunited with Clive Tilsley.
Oh, I like them too.
Well, they had two commentate tonight. Jade, what's the matter with you?
Oh no, but I do like them. Some of them just annoy us.
Okay.
Robbie Savage on the BBC, though, isn't he?
Yes, let's not talk about him.
Yeah.
Ever noticed how much Nicola Sturgeon looks like Ryan Fraser? I've never looked at that. You're right, Paul. The refereeing has been good. The Dutch ref in the very first game was great. I just think they've all been fantastic. Josh is going 2-1 England. Thomas is 3-0 England. All right, we'll just finish up these comments, Jade, before we end. We've been on an hour now. It's flown by tonight.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It certainly does. Mason, Harry, and Che Adams for them. Okay.
Yeah.
Or goal scorers, I'll take these on about there. The Premier League need to take notice of how VAR works in the Euros. It's been world class. Can't disagree with that. Thomas, love Kane screaming Tesco. It's hilarious. Okay. Colin Kaepernick. Nick was the guy who started the whole taking the knee thing. Right, okay. I get you now, Judy.
Judy's very knowledgeable about everything, isn't she?
Yes.
Like, she knows a lot of things.
And so is Dave. Dave says from Wiki, is an American civil rights activist and former American football quarterback. Well, you know, you can always rely on the viewers to put you right. Billy says, I hope we can emulate the boys of 1961 and put 9 past them again. Billy really wants to murder the Scots, doesn't he? He wants to be at the front with a git massive sword and a shield and just charge up over Hadrian's Wall and think, right, any Scotsman get in my way. And then they're going to come back the other way. You can see Andrew coming back the other way. Poor lad's in a wheelchair with his COVID and everything, his broken ankle and everything. He's coming out. Come on then, Billy. Give me a bit of shot, you wee bastard. You know, just go mental. Just them two in the middle of a field near Hadrian's Wall, you know what I mean? Nobody else. Just Billy and Andrew. And Andrew's got his wheels. He's spinning his
from
wheelchair.
Level 7 there, thinking I can see it.
He's thinking, Billy, you're a wee bastard. I'm gonna kill you. And Billy's just there, just defending England for his life.
Go on, Billy, son.
Yeah. Paul, what's your take on Spurs? It's a joke. I don't really care, Ryan, if I'm honest. Thomas says, Jade, I see your cat. Can I have her?
Oh, Thomas loves that cat. But no,
Thomas wants to pinch everybody's animals. I'm a bit worried about him.
I mean, you can have the boys. They're horrible. But not my little girl.
Yeah. Johnny says, watch Ryan Fraser will show us all what he's made of tomorrow night.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
Yeah. Johnny says, busted like Bruce's nose. Thomas says, I am shocked. Tony says, Detective Ditchburn and PC Proudlock cracked the case. It wasn't PC Proudlock. I'll have you know. But I will probably eventually release my source as to who found it out for me, and people will probably get a massive shock when they find out who it actually was who busted Chongled wide open. But there you go. Busted. No, okay. Judy. No. Billy says, mind you, don't forget we have to overcome the ITV jinx tomorrow. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. ITV always try and destroy us. Lee says Pickford, Walker, Stones, Mings, Chilwell, Rice, Phillips, Mount, Sancho, Sterling, and Kane, and England to win 4-0. So he's left out Foden.
I just think that's silly behaviour. Mount and Foden and Phillips are just the first three names. I just don't know why you'd take Foden out. Like, he was brilliant, I thought, against Croatia, and so was Mount, and I think so was Phillips. I think them three, I wouldn't change them. And I think, like I said, the only change I would make would be Shaw at left back, and then I'd take Rice out for Grealish, and then just have Phillips as the one holding midfielder. Yeah,
I wouldn't be disappointed with that, to be honest.
No, I don't know.
Thomas says, Paul, are you Vera? No, I'm bloody not Vera. Vera. Geordie says, who can blame Billy for wanting the English to beat the Scots tomorrow night? Nobody, because we all want the same thing. Paul doing his Rab C. Nesbitt. Thanks. Judy says, final thoughts. The Euros have been really great so far, and you're both looking really healthy and happy with this great weather. Thanks for the show, and everyone drop a like. Judy Ristar.
Love you, Judy.
Thank you very much for that. Joshua says Henderson, Walker. Oh, he's gone with Henderson. Walker, Stones, Trippier, Luke Shaw, Phillips, Rice, Foden, Mount, Kane, and Sterling with a 2-1 win.
I'd be happy with that.
Yeah. Tony says the trouble with Scotland is that it's full of Scots.
That happens.
Well,
it's like when you play football, you have to score.
Yeah, but if you go to Scotland, you tend to find that it's full of Scots. I mean, that's just a given. Yeah, Billy says I was at the 77 game with my Scottish uncle. Never forgiven them for the desecration of the Wembley pitch, much to my uncle Jock's delight. Yeah, I'll never forget that. I can't remember that actually at all, but I've seen it on YouTube and stuff like that. Thomas says, thanks, Jade. Just randomly thanking you there.
I think so. You couldn't have me cats. Thomas loved me cats, but yeah, you can't have them.
Vera Duckworth on the Toon Review. Vera bloody Duckworth?
She's not a detective.
No. Billy says, I had my English aunt allowed a sweaty sock to marry her. Shocking, Billy. Shocking. Judy says, the trouble with Iceland is it's full of caricaturners. Yeah, no. I can't help it. I just love to buy from that shop, I do. I like to have a good line before I go in as well, so I'm hyper when I get in the shop, you know. I'll buy those sausage rolls for a pound. Anyway, it's a quote from Braveheart, Paul. Cheers, Tony. Jody says, smash the like button and subscribe if you new like tonight's content because there will be more similar content coming out soon. Indeed, there will, Jody. And don't forget, once everything settles down in the Euros, we will be doing the great big NUFC summer quiz when we actually get round to doing the questions, Jade.
Yes.
Yeah, but we won't talk about that at the minute.
Yeah, the Euros are on. I got excited.
Yeah, we will have some questions eventually for everybody, so don't worry. But it means you need to come on the show. Now, you need to face me and Jade. Man up. You don't have to have your camera
woman
on. Up. Sorry, yes. I do apologise. Man or woman up. And get yourselves on. You don't have to have your camera on. Obviously, you can just have your microphone on. We'll be asking you the questions, and then we'll have a leaderboard. And whoever finishes in the top 2 of that leaderboard will be right up there, and it will be a final live on the show as well, a head-to-head final. So there's a lot of good stuff coming out. So please do subscribe and keep an eye on the channel for any more live shows. I'll still be doing plenty of recordings over the summer with transfer news and various news from Newcastle. I have done a Rafa Benitez video today, so if you haven't seen that, please go and watch that after the show. We'll just finish off these comments. Josh says, Paul, you're a good man. Smash a like for Paul and Jade. Cheers, matey. Judy says, I love the fact that there's a Kerry Katona bingo website. Wow. God knows what the full houses are. Probably Prozac. Yeah. Jory says, how much a pound? Yeah, pound. I'll have a sore throat in the morning. Billy says, great show. Now let's go. Jocko smashing 4-0 England. I will, says Josh. Juni says, Euro favourites, 10 Finland, dark horses, 9 Croatia, 8 Holland, 7 Spain, 6 Germany, 5 Italy, 4 England, 3 Portugal, 2 Belgium, 1 France. I can't look further than France to win the tournament, to be honest. Thomas says, cheers. And Chipper says, the sauce for Paul is HP.
Very funny.
It's ketchup, actually, Chippers. I don't like brown sauce, mate, so never mind. Right, that is it for the preview show. We hope you very much enjoyed it. I'll be back at 10 p.m. tomorrow night for the match reaction live. Jade won't, because she'll be sozzled in some ditch somewhere. Just struggling with a massive drunken weight on her shoulders tomorrow night. So I'll be flying solo for that show. There will be a fan forum next week again. I think it'll be Tuesday night again. But do keep an eye on our Twitter pages or on the channel itself if you've got the notification bell hammered. But do hit the like button if you've enjoyed the show, guys, tonight. And, of course, if you haven't already subscribed, please do. If you're new to the channel as well, have a look around, see what you think. Lots of football coming up in the coming season. We've got, obviously, the Newcastle United stuff, Premier League stuff. We've got non-league, EFL. We're doing as much as we can once the season kicks off. So even if you're not a Newcastle United supporter, but you like your football, this will be the channel to stick to. So thank you very much in advance for subscribing and being part of the Toon Review family. Jade, I'll just rattle through these last few comments because I will go against you and Jade.
Bring it on, Josh. Bring it on.
Yeah. Great stream yet again tonight, Paul and Jade. Cheers, Geordie. Tony says, Paul, you could take Kerry's place and no one would bat an eyelid. Great show, by the way. Judy says, hi. Oh, no, you're not flirting on here again. Thanks for the show, says Josh. Brown or red sauce, says Geordie. It's got to be red. And there they go, flirting again. England play on Tuesday, so it won't be Tuesday.
Wednesday, isn't it?
Yeah. I thought it was Wednesday.
I think it's Wednesday.
You
can't play Friday, then Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, Wednesday. Yeah.
I thought it was. Chip is an idiot. Great show tonight, everyone. Emily says, God, I'll have to take care of her tomorrow. Damn right you will. But you'll probably just be as bad, Emily, to be fair.
Yeah, it's not the other way around.
Really? So
yeah,
Emily's the
liability.
alcoholic.
Yeah.
Right. I'm starting to see a story now developing. Good vibes, says Thomas. Apparently Holland have just missed a sitter. Good night, says Junior. Take care, Junior.
Good night, Junior.
Probably what a miss. And in Atomic Kitten. I'm not. No. Anyway, that is it for tonight, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I am going to play us out with my little England tune. So once again, I'll catch you tomorrow night live on the match reactions. So do come back to 10 o'clock tomorrow, straight after the game, and we'll get all your thoughts on the match as well as mine. In the meantime, from me and Jade, it's good night.